Welcome back to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, with Andrew Kernan, our co-host, and Mervyn Price. All right, up next, we've got Cyrus Krohn, Chief Operating Officer, Element Data, elementdata.com. Cyrus, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Let me allow you the time to give us a little background on yourself and our company, and then Mervyn's going to start off with a few questions for you.
Certainly. Cyrus Krohn. I spent about 15 years at Microsoft, moved out to the Great Pacific Northwest in 1995, and never looked back. It never rains here. The weather's beautiful, but don't let anybody tell you that.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Started Element Data back in November of 2016, so we're a new company, and we are focused on decision support software, harnessing power of artificial intelligence and machine learning to help people make better decisions. We like to say that we're really in the confidence business. You know, people make complicated decisions every day,
Cyrus.
And if we can help them feel more confident, then we're doing our job.
Cyrus, that's wonderful. This is Mervyn here. Decisions are basically bound by what, which, when, where, how, who, and I've made a lot of wrong ones. Tell me about how you define such decisions that would be better than mine.
Well, you touched on the who, what, where, and how, but you didn't touch on the why, and that's really what we're focused on, is why do people make the decisions they do, and why do they choose to make those decisions? And our focus is to understand really the human element of the decision-making process, and then provide the why as to how people went about doing that. So search is very good at, providing results on who is this? What is this? How do I build this? But search engines have not really yet done an effective job at providing the why as to, why should you make this decision? And if we can resolve that, and when we resolve that, we will have contributed to the 5 W's, if you will.
Cyrus, this is a very complex area, particularly in software. Talk to me about your engineers and your team.
Thank you. We're very proud of the team that we've built in relatively short order. Our CTO, Chuck Davis, has been working on decision intelligence for about 20 years. His wife was trying to make some decisions about where to go to medical school, and so he built some software to help support her in that. And then she started to share it with her friends, and he began to observe their behavior and found that they were using the software for really unintended purposes, and realized that there were a lot of people interested in making better decisions. So over the course of, the last couple of decades, he's been focused on that, and really with the advent of artificial intelligence and machine learning and big data, it's really brought his vision to the forefront. We also recently acquired a company, 2 gentlemen that are out of Microsoft, called PV Cube, Vishvad Lamani and Pani Vedati, and they were the co-founders of Satori, which was Microsoft's code name for the knowledge fabric that is comprised and integrated into Microsoft products such as Windows Search and Bing and Cortana. So between Vish, Pani, and Chuck, we've got a leadership team that are helping to construct this platform. We've got 1 product in market, and we have another one scheduled for release in the next couple of months.
That's Michael, Cyrus. I've got a real quick question before I get into what happened with the Seattle Times with you. So what I'm getting from this is you can tell me, a producer of content, with this artificial intelligence predictive behavior algorithms that you have, where my audience their appetite may be going in the future, so that I can better plan what my decisions are for programming and advertising. Is that what I'm getting?
That's correct. Our first product is analyzing conversations across the open web and identifying prospects who are trying to make a decision on what type of media to consume, what types of products are of interest to them. And then we garner insights on those individuals to better understand their decision-making processes. And then also, if people are confused about how to make a decision, we provide them with a software product that allows them to go through a protocol of defining their criteria and then weighting that information, and then we will provide them with a suggestion based off of the types of decisions they're trying to make and the information they've provided to us. So somebody might use our tool to decide what type of radio show to listen to, and with the criteria they provide, they might find themselves on your program.
That's going to put us way ahead of the game, because if you know anything about how people try and put content up on their shows, it's kind of a guessing game. We think we've got a pulse on it, but it's not. There's no real science to it. It's still an art. So I want to commend you on coming up with that kind of technology. But let me move a little forward, because we only have so much time, and Andrew wants to get a couple of questions in. Seattle Times and GeekWire, you've gone 2 rounds of funding. What can you tell us about those? And really, if you want to, who's your lead investor on this?
Sure, thank you. Currently a privately held company. We've raised $5.2 million in 2 rounds. And Archibald Cox Jr. is our lead investor. Some people may know of him as the former chairman of Barclays Americas, and his father was in the news recently as the Solicitor General during the Nixon administration, involved in Nixon impeachment proceedings. So his father has got some historical context. But yeah, our Archie Cox Jr. has really been supportive of us, and we thank him for his involvement and look forward to his continued insights. So it's been a quick several months in terms of raising funds, getting product off the ground, and acquiring a company, building a team, and no rest for us.
Never. Andrew's got some questions.
Hi, Cyrus. You had of real interest to me is machine learning, because I'm working on some AI myself. I believe you were just mentioning the company you acquired, that being a machine learning company. Can you discuss their technology and how that's going to assist you?
Correct. The company was formerly known as PV Cube. Product has been rebranded Dice Social. Dice stands for Decision Insight Computation Engine. And the product is really designed around using natural language processing and machine learning to source prospects by verifying and validating them. It really takes a lot of the legwork out of the initial process of identifying leads and moving you directly into the prospect stage. So, it's a scalable product that's capable of servicing clients at mass scale, enterprise level solutions. And as I was mentioning earlier, we basically are looking at all conversations across the open web and identifying prospects by industry. We create vertical domains, and those are updated consistently with the ability to communicate directly with the individual in the channel in which we've identified them, and that's very important in terms of context. So we're trying to turn general conversations into valuable prospects for organizations and entities who need to identify new customers who are primarily engaged now on social media, and the non-traditional methods of reaching out to them are becoming a little more challenging. So we're trying to improve on that.
Wow, that's really exciting. What's been your most successful application to date of this technology?
Well, we are working with organizations in different industry verticals, entertainment, financial services, retail, as well as travel. And I think from the insurance standpoint, what's been most rewarding to see is that we identified a conversation, we saw somebody who had an immediate need, and an insurance company was able to immediately communicate with them, knowing that they had a need, and able to bring them in as a new customer, but also achieve that customer's goals in a very short amount of time. So the real-time nature of this communication was rewarding when we identified somebody who had been in an accident, needed some support, and we were able to assist our client in providing that. So real time, real needs, real solutions.
Cyrus, it's Michael again. It seems to me this technology has a real broad scope for its use. Not only can you use it to predict buying habits, but using those buying habits and the trends that you get from social media, that you can also predict market sectors where things will be moving in the future based on the demand of the public and what their search and shopping and browsing histories are. Am I correct in that assumption?
Yes, on the consumer side, we really, and that's our tagline, is the human element, and that's really where we come into the picture, is providing our software with the insights through the individual who needs to make a decision to help us understand the criteria and how they prioritize and weight that. And as more people share more information with us, we will have a broader perspective in terms of how people make decisions around industry verticals and product needs. So we can take it from either side of the coin, but we ultimately believe that human participation and human collaboration with machines is what's going to improve our insights more than pure machine-driven intelligence.
Got it. Cyrus, we've got to wrap it up, but I want to thank you for coming on the show. I can't wait to implement your data with what we're doing. Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much. ElementData.com. Appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Cyrus Krohn, Chief Operating Officer, ElementData.com. Up next on the other side of this break, we're going to come back with Nick Horsley. He is the director of Tower One Wireless. We're going to step out of the bounds of the United States with this one. We'll be right back on CEO Money.